Hi everyone, and this video is going to be a quick look at a steel C-case bezel and some measurements. If you remember from earlier episodes, I bought a dark dial blindly. At the time I didn't have a matte black dial, and I thought this was a matte black dial. It turned out to be a dark gray blue sunburst style. Maybe if you're interested in Speedmasters, you know that on Speedmasters it's a very exclusive and rare model, but on C cases, while it's equally rare, it's not as demanded. Now the sad part about this watch was the watch having the wrong crystal. I mean, look at this crystal. It's completely wrong. Normally the dome should be like this, but on this watch it's more inwards. So basically you lose more than a millimeter of hand space here, and to make up for it, watchmakers bent the hands. So that was my problem with the watch. I mean, it was handled by someone who is low enough to do something like that. Interestingly, the armor ring is probably original, but the ends have been damaged. It's very sad, and I'm curious about the dimensions of this crystal. So as I guessed, it's a lot larger than 29.6 is 30 millimeters. So it's no wonder that when the crystal was pushed out, the bezel came off with it too. And as I guessed, the watchmaker who assembled this watch first pressed the crystal and then the bezel. So basically he removed the bezel too. He is like a capable evil, very capable, but also, I mean, it's an unthinkable operation. It's just a better idea to buy fake crystals, and maybe for this reason it's a bad idea to report fake crystals. I mean, instead of like putting omega sign in the middle, they could have put like an alpha sign, and it would be something very original. I mean, it could be like a movement. Hey, omega isn't supporting right to repair, and instead we came up with alpha parts and stuff like that. But instead they make fake parts, but they also don't mimic the actual armor ring as well. They make a single piece armor ring. Anyway, this video should be about the bezel. Let's check the dimensions. The case is in very good condition. It's in surprisingly good condition. It's 32.8 millimeters. A bit larger than 32.8. Let me get another measurement. No, it's, I think 32.8. It's a bit flexible as well in this form. I'm more curious about the snap dimensions. it's 31 millimeters. Again, it's 30.98. I don't think I'm very good at taking dimensions. 30.97. This part is 30.98. So the snap part is like 0.01 millimeter shorter. And that's a bit concerning because 0.01 millimeter is probably lost at tolerances. So if you are thinking of getting a bezel manufactured too, probably a good idea to make this narrower and then maybe machine it yourself. The upper part is indeed very thin. I've previously sent a case to be professionally restored and laser welded, and the guy actually told me that they weren't able to properly do it because the bezel is very thin, and I do see his point now. On white gold bezels, the bezel is actually more higher, and it's the first time I'm actually removing a steel and shorter bezel. After the white gold case video, before I removed the crystal from it, so this was on the white gold watch. I'm going to use this crystal on this watch. It has some scratches on the side, and this was probably polished, but they didn't deeply polish it, which is a good idea. I mean, I also remove deep marks like this and just go for like 95% clearance and don't just destroy the geometry of the crystal. So they did a good job there. Anyway, I'm going to press it first, and then I'm going to press the bezel and hope for the best. So this is it. Maybe it's a good idea to take this to a jeweler and try to get it gold cast, but I value this too much and I'm just a bit anxious to leave it with someone else. So I'm probably not going to do that. But let's take a bit more dimensions and .98 when you push. So the being flexible is interesting. I mean, 30. Let me try it this way. Let's say 20.94, and this easily enters 30.31, 30.99. Now this doesn't enter. 30.98. This doesn't enter. 30.96. This barely enters. So 30.96, 30.95, 30.94, maybe good target.